So I'm here with Johanna Goode, our Director of Marketing. Johanna, when and why did you start at RunSignup?
Yeah, so I started at RunSignup in 2014, which was just about a decade ago. Um, Honestly, I was just looking for something different, and I loved running, and I loved the idea of working for a company that, would have a lot of room to grow and learn things.
And you were one of the last people to actually be in Bob's dining room office, right?
That is true. So the office used to be Bob's dining room, and we would have, a crew of a few people there on Mondays. And my first Monday, at some point, Bob was out. I think he had a meeting or something. He wasn't there. There was a knock at the door, and there's a delivery person there to deliver some medication that needed to be signed for by Marlise, Bob's wife. Unfortunately, Andrew, who answered the door, had already told the delivery person that Marlise was not available. Marlise was in the shower at the time. And so, unfortunately, because he'd already indicated that I was not Marlise, the decision was that someone had to go get Marlise out of the shower. And as the only woman in the room, I was nominated on my first day to go retrieve Marlise. And a week later or so, we had an office.
So you're why we're in this room right now.
That's true. I am responsible directly.
You and your awkward interactions with our boss's wife.
Marlise is lovely.
So how did things go from there at RunSignup?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I hate it because I've been here for 10 years. I think I've been in marketing the entire time. So in some ways, I could say my job hasn't changed, but my job has changed a ton because, we've been growing. What we're talking about is growing. We have more customers. We have more markets. So, I've been able to really kind of watch and learn from our customers and kind of grow with them. And now, I have the opportunity to not just work with races, but also with some ticket events and some peer-to-peer fundraising events and learn more about those industries that, I didn't come in with the same background on.
Now, in addition to doing marketing for RunSignup, you were also doing race directing on the side, right?
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago, a friend of mine had a really dumb idea to put together a race that I would never recommend to a customer. It's 5 distances, all team-based, really wild scoring that no one understands but us. And so it's a bit of a crazy morning with a lot going on. And so we have hosted that event for running clubs in Philadelphia for several years, and we really, really love it. As any of our race directors know, there's a lot of work that goes into race directing, and at some point last year, we did decide to hire a race director to help. So I'm still involved with the race, but it was actually really nice on race morning when she was getting all the phone calls and I could just set up the cones and signage and be on my way.
Now, what kind of projects do you work on as the marketing director?
I think we think of marketing a little bit differently than I think a lot of people traditionally do. We feel like our biggest role is essentially education, and that works on 2 levels. One is that we want to provide education to our customers so they remain our customers, because if we can retain customers, then that helps us. Also, if we can help those customers grow their events, our interests are aligned with theirs, and so we will also make more money that way. The other side of that is that, if we have good education that isn't only about us, but is about the industries in general, then people are able to find our information easily online, and we're able to actually bring in new customers because we're able to be helpful to them and not just selling to them. So within that, we spend a lot of our time on content, website content, blogs, webinars, different types of digital content that we can put out for our customers and for people who are not yet our customers. And then the other major bucket for us is events. So we go to conferences, we meet customers face to face, we talk to people about what their needs are, and then we also host our own events. We've done some symposiums in the past, we're doing roadshows currently, and those are, again, opportunities for us to help our race directors and timers to better use our technology, and also for us to learn more about how we can make our technology better for them.
So when I'm working with customers, I'm working one-on-one, answering different questions that they email in. Are you doing one-on-one with customers, or is it more trying to figure out ways to help everyone with their marketing and share that information through the blog?
So it's a little bit of both. I mean, we're definitely looking at, aggregate. That's why we do a lot of things like our trends report. We're looking at aggregate information to see what helps races on average and to make sure that people are following best practices. But we do also then talk to customers. We love to talk to customers. So if you'd like us to tell a story about what you did really well, let me know. But that is because, people who have done specific things really well can be really good examples that are really relatable for other people. So if you have an event that, has used the check-in app in a really unique way, or been very successful with the process they set up, sharing that story with other customers helps everyone in the industry to do things a little bit better.
And who should they contact if they have a story they want to share?
If you have a story that they'd like to share, you can email marketing@runsignup.com, and that'll go straight to me and the rest of the team, and someone will follow up.
Speaking of the marketing team, who is the marketing team?
So currently we have 4 people on our marketing team. Obviously, I'm one of them. Shelly Harris has been here for 7, 8, long time, many years. And she's done a number of different things for the company, but she works very largely with our timers and the timing community and making sure that race day products are well understood and being used correctly, along with some other RunSignup customers. Lizzie started with us about a year and a half ago as an intern, and she is responsible for a lot of the look and feel of our website, a lot of our graphics, as well as just a lot of operations on the back end. And Jesse is our newest member. He has come on board to do a lot of writing for us, a lot of our blogs, and to really work with a lot of customers to get more of those stories. So if you do email us about a case study, it's likely that you'll end up working with Jesse.
Now, what is the greatest strength of the marketing team?
I really think it's just willingness to jump in and learn a lot about technology and how our customers are using things. So, for every product that comes out, we may not be supporting customers directly, but everyone is generally really good at jumping in and seeing how the product works on the back end, testing out different features so that when we talk about things with customers, we understand what it is that you're looking for.
Now, do you have a favorite feature on RunSignup or TicketSignup?
I have a lot of favorite features, and it's hard not to say check-in app, but I'm going to go with one that I think is underutilized, and that's custom source tracking within race trends. So I think a lot of race directors who aren't professional marketers are really intimidated by the idea of tracking links. But the way that this works in Race Insights is so simple. You just put in what it is that you're doing, whether it's an email or a Facebook post, or sharing with a local running club, and it'll give you a specific link that you can share for that activity. And then it's going to show up right on your dashboard how many page views, how many registrations came from that link. And that gives you a really clear understanding of if your marketing is working. And it's really, really simple to do. You can even use that if you are putting out, physical flyers or posters. You can use that unique link to create the QR code, and you can see how many people registered from the flyers that you had at the barbershop.
I'm going to ask you to do a video on that after this. Because I too am afraid of custom source tracking.
I refuse to take that out of the roadshow because everyone is always like, "Oh, that's like above me," and I'm like, "No, I promise it's easy."
So, do you have any success stories that you want to share about working at RunSignup?
I have a lot of years to think about, so I'm not sure I can come up with the one perfect one. I think when I think about why I still work here, if we go back to early COVID days, when I think no one was really sure if our industry would survive, if we would still have jobs. The creativity and the way that people pulled together within our team and also within our customers was just really fun to be around. People immediately started looking at ways to make races happen when races couldn't happen. Customers came to us with cool ideas. That's how the challenge feature became so robust, is that, customers said, "I have this great idea for something I can do virtually. Can you help make sure we have the technology to do that?" Eric put together meetings to get together, racist directors who didn't have anything to do to talk about what they were trying to do to get through things. And so we just saw kind of across the board a lot of innovation, a lot of creativity, and a lot of people coming together and, treating each other as partners and allies and not as competition.
One thing I remember from those days is we had that company meeting and Bob was saying everyone's going to be doing half time for half pay.
Yeah.
And Natalie's question was, well, can we still work full time?
And yeah, I mean, I think aside from people who had to be limited because they didn't have childcare, everyone was just assumed they were on a regular schedule.
Yeah. So you're not doing anything else anyway. So.
Right. What else am I going to do with my time?